I think about this a lot. I see a lot of young writers who right out of college maybe, or they go to graduate school and then immediately start writing. And part of me thinks, gosh, I wish I had started 20 or 30 years ago. I would be so much further along, right? But on the other hand, I do have a lot that I've seen and a lot that I've done, and I feel like I have more to say than I did 30 years ago. So I think it was necessary. And I had a great career, I had some great jobs and went to some great places. And so every day when I sit down to write, I have a store of ideas. I haven't run out yet. I feel like I went to one of the great universities in the world, at Indiana University in Bloomington, studying first English in a master's program and then my law degree. So that's obviously contributed also greatly to who I am now. I am inspired by people and places. Places, you know, obviously we've talked about how much I've traveled and worked all over the world, so places really inspire me, but justice also inspires me. We were talking earlier today with some other writers about fiction that addresses important social concerns. And I'm not an agenda-driven writer. It's not that I'm writing about these issues, but there are things that I do think about. And so if I have a character who is faced with some of these problems, that character needs to deal with them appropriately. And so that's something I think about a lot. Well, I think it's really an acknowledgement that no matter who you publish with, you're still doing work that people want to read, that people appreciate. You know, my books have been published by small presses, and that means they don't get as much attention as a lot of other books do. But when I win an award like this, people take notice. And so I think it means, not only for my work, but other people published by small presses, it means they're going to get more attention too. Well, some of my favorite writers are Indiana writers, certainly. I was recommending a book this evening that was my mother's favorite book and has become my favorite book. It's called Raintree County by Ross Lockridge Jr. Great book. That isn't read much today, but it's a book that really has influenced me. Set in an Indiana county, and it's the kind of book that puts place at really the forefront of the story, the way a lot of books these days don't. Keep going. I would quote from Samuel Beckett, fail better, where you have to just keep putting yourself out there, and if at first you don't succeed, keep trying. I mentioned earlier today on our panel that rejection is such a regular part of what writers deal with. We submit to magazines or agents and we get rejected, and that's just part of the game, and you can't let it stop you. In fact, you have to recognize that rejection is recognition that you are participating in the process. So that's what I would say to younger writers is do not let rejection stop you. Keep going. I'm so grateful not only to have received this award, but also that it exists. I think it is awesome that the Glick Fund supports a program like this, that this program really does recognize what authors are doing, and obviously a diverse range of authors, and I wish every state had something like this.